A warm welcome to our Festival of Business Week of Burton and Cannock events. Myself and Max are advisors for the Burton and District and Cannock Chase area. We work for Greater Birmingham Chambers of Commerce, and these are our two divisions that we work in. So I just want to take you through the overview of this morning. So we should have had Dean Piper this morning from Cannock Chase Council. Unfortunately, he's been pulled away to an emergency meeting. So I'll be doing the overview of what grants and projects they have in Cannock Chase. I'm then going to hand over to Kelly, which is the Enterprise Manager at Staffordshire Borough Council, which will give you an overview of the grants and projects that Burton and District are actively doing at the minute. Following Kelly, we then have Wayne Dutton, which is the Enterprise Team Manager from South Staffordshire Council. Following Wayne, we'll then pass over to Nicola Kent, which is a Head of Funding, Business and Enterprise from Staffordshire County Council, and also heads up the Stoke and Staffordshire Growth Hub. Just a bit of housekeeping, if we can all put you on mute, if that's okay. We'll be taking questions and answers at the end of the session. So please pop them in the chat box. Max will start collating them as we go through the session. Other housekeeping, if you can just put your business name, if you rename your name and put your business name, that would be great. Because we're using Zoom, it'll just give us an overview of the attendees. Okay, let's get started. So the Festival of Business campaign is being held in lieu of person exhibitions being unable to be hosted from the Chamber due to the COVID restrictions. So as the part of the festival, members of the Chambers will be encouraged to attend a number of webinars and networking events as part of the campaign. So the events will focus on showcasing the benefits of doing business with members of the Chambers and key issue member businesses. So the Festival of Business has started from 1st of June right the way through to the 30th. So our Burton and Cannock events will go all week, one every morning. So looking at the Cannock Chase Council overview of their grants and projects. So they have two grants. One's called the Let's Grow grant. So this is a 50% match funded grant and it pays up to £5,000. So it's not retrospective. So the business would need to pay out the full amount and then claim the intervention rate back. So the intervention rate is what the percentage of the funds is given. So it's what's called capital and revenue grant. So capital meaning, just to give you examples, it could be PC equipment, setting up of an office, a server, desks, shelving, racking, any fixable assets within the business. The revenue meaning, it could be a new CRM, website, marketing, any accountancy software. So as an example, it could be Sage. So this grant needs to create a full-time job. They need to be trading 6 months or more. And it's also, the eligibility is either if your customers are either business to business or business to consumer, which is like the general public. So it's got both, so it's quite flexible. This grant, you need to be paying the business rates to Cannock Chase Council and registered your business within the geographical area. Okay, that's your eligibility for the Let's Grow. There's also the second one, which is called the Enterprise for Success programme. So the Cannock Chase Council are working with the Chase Community Partnership and the Enterprise for Success programme to support the local economy by offering supports and grants to help new businesses to get up and running. So this is aimed at pre-starts or businesses that have already started up but at an early stage. So it encourages new business startups and to help young businesses grow. The programme is funded by partners of the GBS LEP, which is a Greater Birmingham Solihull Local Enterprise Partnership, and also part funded by the ERDF Fund. So what you need to do is go through a free business support workshops, which are delivered by the company called Blue Orchid. These are combined workshops of personal business advice, so that could be marketing, setting up a business plan, looking at basic accountancy, and also it's got a mentoring hours with that to help you support the first stages. Eligibility areas are Redditch, Bromsgrove, Wyre Forest, Solihull, East Staffs, Lichfield, Tamworth and Cannock. So it covers quite a varied area. So the grant that sits with this programme, so Blue Orchid have partnered with all the local authorities, like I've just mentioned on the slide before. So you've got grants of up to 1,500 which are available and match funded by 50%. So this will in time hopefully develop jobs as the business grows. So the grants are open to Cannock Chase residents that will be setting up or have recently set up a business in the district. The applicants must have completed the free 12 hours of support. So that's from the workshops before you can access the Enterprise for Success grant. To be eligible, you must have been trading 6 months or less and be ineligible for the EDRF Enterprise for Success grant. So if you've been trading longer than 6 months, you might be able to apply for the £5,000 on the Let's Grow grant. Okay, just to let you know, these slides at the end of the event will be sent out to you, so you've got the information. If this was of interest for you, then please contact the Economic Development team on the phone number, or there's an email address that you can get in contact with them. So looking at the COVID government recovery grants, so this is the local restriction support grant, the restart and the additional restrictions grant. So this is what we call the COVID recovery. So these will all come to a close at the end of June. So the District Council are asking you to make any outstanding applications and get them in before the end of June when it closes. I've put the link on there so you can have a quick look to see the eligibility and criteria if you haven't already applied for them. The actual project that they've had, which has been an ongoing scheme, which is a MacArthur Glen designer outlet, which covers obviously around the West Midlands. So for the ones that haven't heard of it, and I'm sure a lot of people have. So it's an outlet shopping centre near Cannock. It's owned by the MacArthur Glen Group, and it's the company's 7th designer outlet in the UK. Permission was granted for the construction of the shopping centre back in 2016, and then work began in 2017. It's now opening and trading. So this year, obviously COVID restricted a lot of the work, so it's, but now they're back on track. It's actually created 780 jobs. 50% of the shops are trading, and the employment has come from a 15-mile radius of Cannock. Phase 2 planning is in progress at the moment, which is going to encourage more high street brands and additional car parking. So please encourage you to visit that. Okay, so if you have any questions on that, please pop them in the chat box, and we'll revisit them at the end of the presentations. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to hand over to Kelly, which is our Business Relations Officer. Is that right, Kelly? Have I got that right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Posh name for Staffordshire Borough Council. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Pam. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so I'm the Business Relations Officer at East Staffordshire Borough Council. My job involves supporting local businesses to access grants and support that are available out there for them. I'm working with the 2 local enterprise partnerships to administer those schemes to some extent, and largely to promote them, and really make sure our local businesses are taking advantage of those schemes and any other schemes that are out there, really. So I was just going to cover a couple of things for our area. The first thing, which I haven't got a presentation on, is free membership at the moment of the Federation for Small Businesses. So we as a council have put some funding towards that along with the county council, and that's it's fairly easy to access in a way. If you email me, I'll ask for some details off you and then refer you on to FSB. You need to be a small business. I can't remember what the number of employees you need to have. I think is it 5 or 6? So it is aimed at smaller businesses, but it's a 12-month free membership. And that support largely is online resources, but it can include all sorts of things from legal, things around tax, marketing. So there's a whole load of support there for the FSB. And we did have a lot of interest in that scheme, so which is why we extended it. I think we had originally 27 places, which were all taken up within a couple of weeks. So we decided as a council to put more money into that and try and get as many businesses as possible involved. So I'm going to try to share my screen now. Let me see. Can everyone see that? Yep. Okay. So we've just recently launched our small grant scheme, which is called the Business Springboard Boost. And the ambition really behind this is to support recovery and growth for businesses from COVID, and moving beyond the kind of survival grants into a place where we can help businesses expand, grow, relocate, and where possible recruit new staff. So there's currently 100,000 available, and what we've done this time is it's one fund, but there's kind of 2 elements to it. One's aimed at new businesses and one element as existing businesses. Because we found, particularly throughout last year, a lot of people were contacting us saying they were going to set up in business. So we really identified that, you know, there was a need there for support for new businesses. And we worked with the Chamber to sort of test our views on that, really, to see whether they thought the same about the kind of the new business element, which they did. And new businesses can apply for anything up to 5,000, and existing businesses anything up to 10,000. And we've set it as a up to 60% match, and that will be assessed on a case-by-case basis. So businesses may request that, but the panel might decide a different amount, essentially. So in terms of new businesses, similar to Cannock, really, the new businesses must have been on the Enterprise for Success programme, and or the Staffordshire, or access the Staffordshire Business Advisors. And we thought this will enable really a better quality application, as it will have been developed with advisor support. You know, when we've run these, this is the 3rd scheme from the council similar to this, and when we've run schemes in the past, if businesses haven't had that sort of support, it's there's a lot of toing and froing back to the businesses, and it just makes for more of a streamlined service, really. So what we've, in the past, we've measured success really by job creation and job safeguarding, but again, we looked at it this time, and we felt, particularly with other schemes, so there's a scheme in Birmingham called the Business Growth Programme, we felt a lot of our businesses feel unable to apply for that one because of the amount of grant funding that they need to apply for, but also the job creation element as well, and not all businesses are looking to recruit, to create jobs. We have included it in there, you know, it is a positive if businesses are creating jobs, but it's not the be all and end all. So we're looking at strong but realistic projections of profit or turnover. Stuff around social responsibility, and we've always had a link to our corporate objectives as a council. But the cabinet members at East Staffs really wanted to major on that, I suppose, in terms of the social responsibility and, you know, how much businesses were putting back into the local area, whether that be jobs or other things. And then when a new business is applied, we undertake an appraisal as officers, really just to check the eligibility and that they are eligible. And then that's submitted to a panel. And we have said not always a presentation will be required unless the panel asks for a presentation for new businesses. Again, that can kind of be off-putting, we felt, for some businesses, which is, you know, and quite daunting as well. And so in terms of the panel, we've done this in the past as well. We've got a panel of different people really to assess applications and to kind of give that next level really of validation for applications, and they kind of decide on who will go through and who's successful. And when we've evaluated schemes in the past, we've found that businesses find this, you know, it's quite scary for a lot of businesses, but actually once they've been through it, they've found it useful, because the idea is that the panel can kind of give advice and guidance back. So we've got on the panel at the moment, we've got Nick Hardy, who was the previous president of the chamber. He's just changed recently. We've got someone called Dave, Dave Byron, I always forget his name, and he is someone who manages the Burton Mill Business Awards, and he's got a lot of links with local businesses. So he and runs his own businesses as well. So there are kind of two business representatives, and then we've got 3 councillors and the chief executive of East Staffordshire Borough Council. So just coming on to existing businesses, so there must be a small or medium-sized enterprise. Once they've applied, we undertake checks internally. Again, it's, you know, we can be audited, and we need to make sure that we're giving out grants to businesses where if they're known to us as a council, we know that within our team. You know, it just wouldn't make sense for us not to do that and do checks with business rates and environmental health. We also ask our accountants to appraise the finances. As experts in that field, we rely on their advice really in terms of how well the business is doing financially and how realistic their projections may be. And again, for existing businesses, the measure of success isn't just about job creation or safeguarding. And the panel meeting, which I've mentioned, is something that existing businesses need to undertake. So in terms of overall, once a business has been successful, we undertake a 6-month check to see how they're getting on, whether they're meeting their targets and what they've said they're going to achieve. Unlike some other schemes, we do allow retail to apply and business to customer businesses. I mentioned earlier the business growth programme, and business to customer and retail isn't included in that. So we felt really our scheme can fill that gap. There are some ineligible sectors, including businesses of a political or religious persuasion, taxi operators and betting and gaming establishments. I have got their public houses and bars, but I think we are allowing that now. We did have a look at that and decided that we would let those go through. And there's some areas of ineligible spend. So the idea really is the type of projects we're after, they are projects, that's the key really. So it's not about kind of everyday running costs for a business. It's something that's the business is going to undertake and that can take it to the next level. So that could be anything from a new piece of equipment. We had a successful business that went through that was spending an awful lot of money on a new piece of equipment to replace an existing machine. They had a lot of orders on the books that they weren't able to fully realise for customers, so they needed a new machine to make themselves more efficient and quicker. So it's that sort of project we'd be looking at. And another one was a business that's opening a training centre in Burton. So they're based in Stoke and they're moving into Burton. So relocation would be something else, and then fit out costs for a new office space would be included, laptops, that sort of thing. So we did launch in April. We've had 2 panel meetings now, and it will be 2 this week. We've got another panel meeting this week, and we've had an awful lot of interest in it. What we decided to do this time, different to our previous rounds, is to run rounds. So we have a set window where businesses can apply, and what we've done for these first 2 rounds is actually close them early, because we've decided that we should only have 4 applications at each panel meeting. Otherwise, there's just too much information to absorb by the panel members, and it makes it more manageable from a business's point of view, we don't want to get loads of applications right at the beginning and then nothing 6 months later. So it kind of extends the life of the grant as well. So as I say, we've closed both of those rounds early due to the amount of interest in them, and we've had businesses that have applied for the first round that have gone on to the second round. So there's, as I think I said at the beginning, there's 100,000 available, but you know, there is opportunities to expand that, and as I say, there's been a lot of interest in this, so it is something that we're looking at in terms of adding more funding to it. So that's the business Springboard Boost, and then I was just briefly going to talk about the Towns Fund, which some of you may have heard of. So recently, East Staffordshire, well, Burton-upon-Trent was successful with a Towns Fund application, which sees £22.8 million coming into the area. And within the town investment plan is available on the East Staffordshire Borough Council website if anyone wants to have a look at that and find out a little bit more about it. And it's got three themes: so the river, in the forest, and in the region. And they were developed by the Town Deal Partnership Board, or identified as the kind of the key strengths and things that we want to promote in our area. So there's 5 key objectives: connectivity, enterprise and skills, the River Trent, hidden heritage, and the capital of the National Forest. And it's a 5-year programme. So there's 7 interventions. Where we are at the moment with these is the Town Deal Partnership Board is looking to support additional and further consultations over the next few months about these. So these aren't set in stone yet. And each one of these is required to have a business case, a strong business case to take it to the next level. So I'll just quickly go through these. The first one's the University Learning Hub, and that's an intervention expanding the University of Wolverhampton's presence at the local hospital by creating a new regional learning centre, and that's going to be based within the existing Brewhouse Arts Centre. Next one's High Street linkages, and this is about connecting the high street back to the river and kind of opening that up, and it's looking at taking the first steps towards enabling the realisation of a new high street master plan, focusing on enhancing and revitalising the area around the existing library and Andrassy Passage, and as I say, looking at how to connect the riverside back to the high street. The third one is the Library and Enterprise Hub, which is proposed to be at the Market Hall, and this is the creation of a public services and enterprise hub, bringing key services together in a prominent town centre location. The next one's a new pedestrian and cycle crossing over the River Trent, and this is a new walking and cycling bridge connecting Stapen Hill Hollows and the surrounding residential areas to the town centre at the Garden of Remembrance, overlooking the enhanced Washland central area. Next one's the Trent and Mersey Canal towpath improvements. So the improvement of the walking and cycling path between the major development of Branston Locks and the town centre through Shopnall Playing Fields area. And then the cycle network enhancement, so the implementation of the cycle and walking infrastructure plan for Burton, making improvements to the cycle network in and around the town. And then finally, the college specialist education offer, so the creation of new specialist facilities at the college, a health and social care realistic environment, and a STEAM hub as well. So in terms of the benefits, we included this within the investment plan that was submitted to government, and it will benefit over 70,000 residents, both directly and indirectly, and generate 26.03 million in additional gross value added to the area, 40.75 million in the social return on investment, 4.7 million in land value uplift, and 2.07 million in transport benefits. And we estimate that these interventions will return £3 in additional benefits for every £1 of the investment from the Towns Fund. So that's everything for me. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. We've got some questions coming in which we'll address at the end of the presentations. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to introduce Wayne Dutton from South Staffordshire Council. Over to you, Wayne.
Thank you, Pam. Good morning, everyone. My name's Wayne Dutton. I'm part of the enterprise team and the business hub at South Staffordshire Council. I'd like today to briefly go through some of the support and opportunities available for businesses in South Staffordshire and for those looking to relocate to the area. I'll also tell you a little bit about the launch of a new partnership between the council and our local business community. The South Staffordshire Business Hub acts as the council's front door for any business related advice and support. So whether you're just starting out in business, if you're looking for support to help your business grow, or if you're interested in locating your business into South Staffordshire, the Business Hub can be your first port of call. And we work closely with a range of partners, including the Stoke and Staffs Growth Hub. And when you come to us, we will ensure that we get the right support for you and your business to succeed. We also hold regular business webinars and online workshops. We hold those monthly, and as an example, June's webinar was focused on increasing sales through online platforms and e-commerce. We also do record these webinars and post them onto our website, through our social media, and onto our YouTube channel, so you are able to go back and watch them back. Like other councils, South Staffordshire have been providing a range of grants for businesses affected by the coronavirus pandemic. We do at the moment still have a number of grant schemes available. These include the government's Restart grant for businesses in non-essential retail, hospitality, leisure, and other in-person service sectors. We are also delivering 2 discretionary programs. One of them is a Restart grant for businesses not eligible for the main government grant. So, for example, if your property is not rated for business rates, or you do not operate from a commercial property, you may be eligible for this Restart grant. And we are also providing a business recovery grant. And the business recovery grant provides financial support for those businesses that have been more severely affected by the pandemic to help safeguard jobs. The grant is available to eligible businesses with 2 or more employees who have suffered a loss in income of 50% or more due to the pandemic. This grant is available across all business sectors, and grants range between 5k and 10k depending on the number of employees that you have. The 2 discretionary schemes will close very shortly. They're likely to close at the beginning of next week. So if you are based in South Staffordshire and want to check your eligibility, I would encourage you to visit the council website, and there you'll be able to find out more information and make a claim. We are hoping then to launch a new set of programs in the next few months. At the moment, that's subject to receiving additional funds from central government. As that develops, we will post out on our social media, so please do follow us on social media too. We're also working with the County Council to provide a range of financial and business support through the Staffordshire Means Back to Business programme, and I know Nicola will tell you more about that programme in her presentation. You can also find more about Staffordshire Means Back to Business on our website, and we're also offering the free 12 months FSB membership that Kelly mentioned in her presentation. So that's 12 months free membership, and I think it's up to 4 employees. We are reaching a really exciting stage regarding some of the investment that's coming into South Staffordshire at the moment. The 60-acre western extension to the I-54 will provide 1 million square feet of accommodation to the existing I-54 site. Infrastructure works on the site are progressing well, and the site will soon be available for development by future occupiers. And the council is also extending its own portfolio of commercial space by extending the Four Ashes Enterprise Centre by a further 35,000 square feet of industrial units. These are ranging from 2,000 square feet to 4,000 square feet. This development is set to be completed in the next few weeks, has proven very popular, and we are down, I think, to just 4 of the newly built units remaining. The Codsall Community Hub will bring together a range of public and private sector tenants to the redeveloped site in Codsall. This site includes office space for small businesses, and also a brand new 1,300 square foot retail unit currently undergoing development, and that unit will be available for let in October. So if you are interested in any of these sites, please do contact us at the Business Hub, and I have provided our contact details on the final slide. This week also sees the launch of the South Staffordshire Business Place Partnership. The aim of the partnership is to bring the council and the business community closer together to champion South Staffordshire as a place to live, work and invest, and to support our local economy and our communities. And on Thursday we will be setting out our pledges to businesses and hearing from a number of guest speakers who are helping us to drive our support to our local businesses. And the partnership will give local businesses the opportunity to provide their input into how we can work better together to deliver our COVID-19 recovery plan, and also to help us shape our priorities for the coming years. So, for example, how we tackle climate change at a local level, council procurement and how we do business locally, and also helping to raise the aspirations of the district's young people. So I do hope you can join us on Thursday and be part of this new partnership. There is still time to sign up to the event via Eventbrite. Or if you're unable to make the event and would like to be involved, please do contact us at the Business Hub, and we'd love to talk to you about working together. So I'd just like to thank you for your time. Thank you to the team at the Chamber for inviting us to be part of the festival. I've added our contact details here, and we are, as I say, on social media too. We also provide a regular newsletter that usually goes out monthly, or sometimes if there's something that we need to push out, we will send out more regular newsletters. So we'd love to hear from you, and enjoy the rest of the event. Thanks.
That's lovely. Thank you, Wayne. Wayne, can we just confirm, because on the next to last slide you got the 17th of March for your launch date. Is that already launched?
I do apologise. Yeah, that is this Thursday, the 17th of June. Yes. 17th of June.
It's right. Good morning, Wayne. It's fine. I'll let you off.
Yeah. After checking twice and 3 times, I still didn't pick that up. So apologies. It is this Thursday. Yes.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Wayne, for that overview. And I'm going to introduce Nicola Kent from Staffordshire County Council, which is our Head of Funding, Business and Enterprise Manager. Thank you. Over to you, Nicola. Thank you.
Very much. Pam. I'm going to make an attempt to share my screen. Hopefully that will work. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
There, we got the first slide?
Mm-hmm.
Marvellous. Thanks very much. As Pam said, I wear two hats, Growth Hub and Staffordshire County Council, but I am here today to concentrate on the support services from the County Council. I'm going to leave the Growth Hub stuff to Pam a bit later on. So yes, good morning. I'm Nicola Kent, Head of Funding, Business and Enterprise for Staffordshire County Council. I am here to talk to you about our role in helping to stimulate Staffordshire's economy, and I'll be looking at some of our successes and providing information on the business support schemes that are currently available to businesses. Staffordshire County Council has always been very strongly focused on making sure that we have the right conditions for local economic and employment growth. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, our focus has been strengthened even further in making sure that Staffordshire's people have access to good jobs and feel the benefit of economic growth. I thought it was worth highlighting some of the contacts that we're working with. Since 2011, the Stoke-on-Trent and Staffordshire Local Enterprise Partnership has been setting the strategy for economic growth. The LEP's ambitions include increasing the total value of the economy by 50% and the generation of 50,000 jobs over a 10-year period. The area is making good progress, and across Stoke-on-Trent and Staffordshire, we've already met the 50,000 jobs target. But increasing the value of the economy is a tougher proposition. And we achieved around 31% improvement up to 2019. Staffordshire County Council has worked hard to take the reins on these ambitions by developing an economic growth programme, which is expected to create more than 20,000 jobs. And since 2011, the County Council have directly delivered job creation projects with a value of 220 million and have paved the way for over 10,000 jobs. Trying to move my slide on, and are we still stuck on the first slide?
Yeah, it is, Nicola, yeah.
I can't seem to move it on. We seem to be stuck.
Nicola, I couldn't click, but I could roll. If you've got the wheel on the mouse, I could roll it to the next slide. For some reason, it
there we go. Oh,
there we go. Thank you for that tip, Wayne. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. The key priority areas that we are focusing on at present clearly revolve around economic recovery and ensuring that the setting in Staffordshire is as business friendly as possible. As the vast majority of business in the area micro, great consideration has to be taken on how we help very small businesses start up and thrive. The great thing about Staffordshire is the range of businesses is very diverse. And although we do have priority sectors that we want to nurture, all businesses are welcome in this area. Staffordshire County Council plan to make Staffordshire the best place to start a business in the country. But helping businesses to grow, diversify and thrive is also a key priority. One of the things that makes Staffordshire a good place to base a business is the strength of our partnership working. The business support network is very strong, and the local authorities work closely together to develop programmes and schemes according to local need. The private sector are vitally important in this too, and regular meetings take place with the Chamber of Commerce and the Federation of Small Business, not only to ensure we have the intelligence we need to make the right decisions, but to develop business support programmes with them. Joint campaigns such as Shop Safely in Staffs help to give shoppers the confidence to shop local and shop safe. The Do Digital campaign is helping businesses understand what technology is available and how to use it to their advantage. Of course, the Stoke-on-Trent and Staffordshire Growth Hub has been essential as the first stop shop for business support over the last year. The Staffordshire Business Helpline has never been so busy and continues to take calls from concerned businesses. However, it is good to hear that many of the calls in the last couple of months relate to businesses getting back to their plans and looking for assistance to grow. Coordinated communication with local authorities and the LEP has been vital during the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure that messages were received by businesses on the new government and local emergency packages as soon as possible. One of the key areas of concern for the County Council is the shortage of light industrial and workshop business space. This is something businesses tell us on a regular basis. So the County Council commissioned a feasibility study to provide us with evidence that we need to work on doing something about this. 2 projects extending the enterprise centres in Cannock and Silverdale are completing this month, and projects are underway for a new enterprise centre in Stafford Town Centre and enterprise space in Burton. It is hoped that the evidence provided by the study will assist us in successfully applying for funding to increase the portfolio further. Anyone who is struggling to find workspace, they should contact the Make It Stoke-on-Trent and Staffordshire team, who hold information on premises available in the cities and county areas. The Growth Hub will put you in touch with them if you call the business helpline on 0300 111 8002. I would like to talk to you about some of the specific programmes that the County Council has worked on recently or currently has in operation. During the early stages of the pandemic, the County Council created an emergency grant scheme for businesses who were shut down and needed some assistance to pay a suppliers bill. Unfortunately, we broke the Growth Hub business helpline with that one, but managed to help a large number of micro businesses. As we moved towards the end of the first lockdown, the scheme morphed into the distribution of PPE and a trusted suppliers list for those businesses who had no choice but to work in close proximity with other people, such as hairdressers and plumbers. As we realised the scale of what we faced, we created the Staffordshire Startup Scheme, aimed at helping those facing redundancy or unemployment due to the pandemic. The Staffordshire Chamber of Commerce were commissioned to carry out the first year of this project, and they included things like confidence boosting webinars to assist those who could be jobless for the first time in many years. Due to the success of this course, the County Council has been out to tender for a further 2 years of the startup programme. To add to the support available for new businesses, we began a pilot startup loans project in November, offering up to £5,000 to startups with no fees or interest to help them buy essential equipment. And Ignite was developed for young entrepreneurs, working very closely with the local colleges and the Chamber of Commerce to give young people the best possible chance of success with their business idea. Staffordshire Means Back to Business is a £5 million programme being provided by the County Council, but jointly funded between the County, District and Borough Councils. This massive undertaking was created to assist businesses with recovery rather than survival, and it's about getting back to a position of growth and prosperity. There are several elements to this scheme, and the District and Borough Councils have been able to choose how much they invest according to their local priorities and needs. We realised that young people would be hardest hit by the economic challenges presented by COVID-19. And the National Kickstart Scheme, although an important part of the recovery process, has the potential to displace apprenticeships with a 6-month wage subsidy. Our proposal aims to support 16 to 24-year-olds who are unemployed to get into an apprenticeship through incentivising employers to take on apprentices by providing a grant to contribute to the cost of the apprentices' wages. The grant of £5,000, in addition to the government grant of up to £3,000, covers the wages of an apprentice for 12 months. Building on an existing programme delivered through the Skills Hub, the programme supports businesses to retrain or upskill their staff or train new staff to meet changing business operations or enter new markets or sectors, which is important for businesses to continue to operate. Our project offers a grant to support the cost of the training in conjunction with the Skills Hub, as it provides a grant of up to £5,000, which matches the Skills Hub existing grant, which already pays 48% of the training. Therefore, this makes training free to employers of up to almost £10,000. The 2 Thrive grant is a new proposal to help businesses buy equipment or consultancy to help them succeed. 2 Thrive is a 100% grant of up to £5,000, and it's provided to businesses who can demonstrate ambitions to grow and who have a plan on how they're going to do it. Due to the success of the startup programme, we included the facility for district and borough councils to invest into providing more startup loans in their areas. This pilot project is proving popular and is helping us to determine whether there is a gap in the market for small, low-risk loans to new startups to help us ensure that service planning in the future is based on evidence of need. In addition, a new platform for startups is being launched by the Staffordshire Chamber of Commerce in the next couple of weeks, which will be a great addition to the offer. So, as you've heard, Staffordshire Means Back to Business is a major development in the network of business support available in the area. The County Council started a business loan scheme for businesses finding it difficult to access traditional sources of funding during the recession in 2008. This scheme continued until 2018, when it was decided to pause and evaluate whether there was still a need for such a scheme. During the pandemic, it has been anticipated that traditional finance may again be difficult to access. So Contract 6 was awarded to BCRS, who matched the funding put into the scheme by the County Council and Stoke-on-Trent City Council. Another innovative scheme created this year was the partnership, which Kelly mentioned, and Wayne, between the Federation of Small Businesses, the County Council and all the district and borough councils. This service offers valuable assistance in areas such as human resources, finance, legal and risk assessments, and it is the first of its kind in the country. Whoop. Not getting the hang of this. There we go. So, for information on any or all of these schemes, please contact the Staffordshire Business Helpline, where a qualified business advisor will assist you and signpost or refer you to the most appropriate support available in the area. Thank you for your time.